Hey guys, Verdia here again. Quick update and also a response to a comment I got on the Honda. But I really wanted to let you know what's going on with Ruby, and this is slanted. Let's fix that. There we go. um, After I ordered the camera, I sat and talked with the new service manager. Of course, I have a new one. Things just keep changing in these places. And I talked to the new service manager. He was supposed to get back in touch with me, let me know about how we were going to handle the replacement vent again, and also what we were going to, about ordering the camera and so forth, whether I could order it from somewhere else and just have it shipped over and so forth. In a big lack of shock, nobody ever called me back. This is becoming kind of the typical response from these places. I don't know if this is passive aggressive or they're just being weenies. Very difficult to say. I think they're just overloaded, but I'm not looking to get into a fight. I did get a call just a couple of days ago, and my camera has come in. It only took about a week and a half, 2 weeks to get here, so the back order wasn't that bad, thank goodness. They had to set up an appointment, and that's not going to be until November 9th. Apparently, replacing a camera is obviously a very big deal. Putting it in is not a big deal, but there's a lot of calibration that has to be done to make sure the camera works properly. Also, when I went in and discussed it, I talked to the service manager, told him I was not happy they didn't call me, but, I let him off the hook. I don't see any reason to get into a big fight with these people. They're generally helping me. And they know what's going on with my car and so forth. I asked him if he'd go ahead and order me another vent. Actually, I suggested he order several vents. This is getting stupid with the vents. And the more times we open up the car, the more chance it's going to rattle, like a SOB on the inside, which is not acceptable either. But the vent itself rattles, and it needs to be replaced again. So he's going ahead and order that. And we're going to try to do it the same day. And he asked me, well, if it doesn't arrive soon enough, do you want me to change the date for the camera? I said no, because without the camera, the car has most of its features don't work, including standard cruise control will not work on this car without the camera. I can't get it to activate. I can turn it to it, but it will not activate. So apparently all cruise control is cut out while doing this. Now, the vent, we'll see what happens. I told them, what they really need to do is when they have it in there, they need to call me and have me come and listen to it and see if I can get it to rattle again. That's why I suggested they order several of them, because apparently this is enough of a problem that enough people have it, but it's not enough of a problem that it's a big recall or that they're going to fix it. Apparently these are tolerance issues, and we need to figure it out. One other thing I wanted to do, and I'm going to turn sideways in order to read this comment when talked about how Ruby was blind, lost her camera, and losing a camera is no minor deal on this car. Excuse me, my nose, big Jewish nose is acting up as usual. Why the hell I have allergies in winter, I don't know. But a gentleman by the name of Miles Kuna responded after seeing this video, and I've had a few people who've had responses like this. I want to go over this response because I don't consider it unreasonable. Now, if those of you who have watched me know that I'm a big critic on this car. I love this car. I really do. I still love it. Even with all the crap I have to deal with sometimes, I still love this car because it's fun to drive, and it's just I love this car. I don't know why. Every time I'm out driving my Hyundai, I enjoy the Hyundai too. I get into the Honda. I missed it. It's fun to drive. It's fun to be inside. It sits me comfortably. It fits my fat mammal body nicely. So, Miles wrote this. I really don't like my inside all that much anymore. My trip miles per tank is like only 300 to 400, and I need to drive like a sweetheart. Yeah, it's a small tank. It's a very small tank. And if 300 to 400, I guess that's just an opinion, yeah, I guess drive like a sweetheart in order to get the full 400 or so. You can get more miles than that, but it's not that easy, and you do have to work on it. And it really depends on how you drive. So 300 to 400 miles, it sounds like he's getting between 40 and 48, 45 miles to the gallon. So I guess drive like a sweetheart. Yeah, I guess to some extent. It really depends on your driving. I don't think the battery holds a charge that well and is nearly pointless. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that, Miles. That's just a general design of hybrid cars. It's a hybrid. It's not really meant to hold a long charge. You just see it more because you're doing something else afterwards, which is very interesting. I don't like that when you put it in EV mode, that it comes out of EV mode unless I keep an eye on the blue meter while driving and not stepping on the gas pedal too hard. That bugs me because it's a little slow in speeding up and drains way quick. Let me tell you something. The EV mode's horse crap, in my opinion. I think it's just for bullshit. I mean, you can literally use it, and if you know how to do it, it can be good, especially for quiet pullouts like, you're trying to go out and see that stripper friend of yours in the summertime, of course. Otherwise, your heat engages, boom, your engine's going to pop on. You're trying to sneak out at night. You can put it in EV mode as long as it has enough battery power, and you can sneak out of the drive and drive away slowly and quietly. But for general usage, no. EV mode is my opinion, is totally useless and serves no real purpose. Why it's there, it's mostly for fun, I think. I'm sure it can be used by better drivers than us. But EV mode, don't even concern yourself on EV mode. You got suckered on that one, and it's horse crap to begin with. And yes, it drains quick because there isn't a lot on there. It's a small battery. It's a hybrid. This car isn't an electric vehicle. It is a hybrid vehicle. Electric vehicles have big batteries. I thought my camera went out once, but I had just turned up the brightness too much. Okay. Also, all the tech stuff about isn't really impressive. It's just a bunch of data that isn't all that useful. I'm going to disagree with you only because most of that data is generally useless to most people. And it's basically in there just to add more stuff in there to cars. The Ford was like that. The Hyundai is like that. Has a lot of this data stuff that's really of no concern and no use. I mean, some people might find it interesting, people who are really watching their gas mileage and all that kind of stuff. But I agree. It's kind of stupid, but I don't think that's something you should hold directly to Honda for. That's like leather bucket seats. It's like a standard on these cars nowadays. It has to tell you all this gobbledygook garbage is of literally no importance to most people. The driving assists aren't that impressive when it comes to staying in the lane around bends or lane departure pops up passing exit on the highway a lot. All right. I've had a lot of discussion about the driving assist systems. Now, I tried to ask the person, and he didn't respond to me, what year and what model his car is. As far as I'm concerned, this car does need a refresh. It's overdue for a refresh, especially technology-wise. This car is basically similar to what most 2019 cars. I mean, some are better than others, obviously. The Ford Fusion was much better at certain things than this car. And this car does have some certain issues that are problematic. As you say, a bunch of... the driving assists aren't that better when it comes to staying. Yeah. The big problem with the Hondas is the lack of torque in the steering. One of the nice things about the lane keep assist system and when it's driving with you and so forth is it's very smooth. A lot smoother than a lot of other cars I've driven. All four of them, whatever. It seems more, it's just smoother at turning. It's less herky-jerky and less just trying to get you in the center. I think this has a lot to do with the lack of torque in the steering. Another reason why something like the Comma 2 doesn't work very well, or the Comma 3 is not going to work very well in this car, because the car's steering, it only has, I think, like 6 to 8 degrees of turn radius before it meets its maximum turn torque. So basically, for regular driving or any harder turns, harder curves, even ones that you wouldn't consider hard, this car is not going to be very good in the lane keep assist in that aspect. For highway driving, for basic driving on highways and so forth, I believe this car does very well for lane keep for the LCAS and keeping you in the center of the road. I notice how different it is with my LCAS not working now, and me being the old man with my diabetes and neuropathy. I'm just kind of all over the place. So I'm going to disagree with you. I think what your problem is with this, and it is a problem in this car, it's a problematic aspect of this car, is a lack of torque in the steering. The Toyota Corolla would be better in this aspect because it has a lot more torque, and also you put something like a Comma 2 or a Comma 3 in it, the car will literally drive itself. Incredible. But this one, yes, it won't keep you in your lane on longer, harder bends. And it is something that I don't like about the car, but it does lead to a more smooth aspect of its lane keep assist. So I'm going to agree and disagree with you on this aspect. As far as the lane departure popping up, passing exits, I don't have this problem. I don't know what's going on with yours. Lane departure, I have had that pop up when going over hard rises, going up a steep hill and coming over the crest. Sometimes it thinks you're coming off it's just a second and so forth, and, and things like that. There are definitely things to criticize on this car. This car is old. It has older technology as far as the adaptive cruises and all that. Stop and go cruise assist is okay. Could be better as in quicker on the go and sooner on the slowdown with more distance detection. Wish I just went with a Camry or something else, full gas or full electric. Hindsight is 2020. Again, this depends on the age of your car. I mean, if you're doing a 2019 or 2020, this car is very similar to most cars in its price range, as far as the way its cruise control works. I think the adaptive cruise is actually very good on this car, but it does have problems seeing stop cars. This is common in many vehicles. Many vehicles have this problem. It's gotten better and better as the years have gone by. Now, if you got like a 2021 or 2022, I agree with you. Things should be better on this car. They should have upgraded these systems every 2 years or so with newer systems just to get them better and better. But obviously they want to keep the prices down, and with the Kung Flu and all that crap and whatever it takes to destroy everybody's life. I guess they didn't deal with it. Plus money. You know how all that goes. I like the adaptive cruise. This is one of the only cars I've ever had where you literally can come to a stop at a light with no car in front of you. And then when the light turns green, you can actually hit the resume, and it'll resume from a stop. Most cruise controls will not do that. Adaptive cruise controls of any kind will do that. Most of them insist it either already has a radar lock in front of you, or it either has that it has a radar lock of some kind in front of you, or you reach the speed of like 10 miles per hour, and then you can engage cruise control. So that's one of the things I really do like about this car. If you have a 2022, I can see where you would be disappointed in some of the aspects of this car. And I think the car still holds up, especially considering the price range. I mean, I'm right now driving the Hyundai, and the Hyundai's cruise control is many times better. It's not 100 times better, but it's much better. It's certainly a lot better at recognizing cars. The Ford Fusion Energy was much better at recognizing cars stopped in front of it. And also, the torque in its steering is much better. I believe if I put a comma 2 in this car will self-steer no problem. In fact, if you let your hands off the steering wheel, this car will self-steer for quite a while before it starts screaming at you anyway. But, Miles, you have reasonable issues here. Again, it comes down to how old your car is. It's a 2019. These are, yes, you have every right to be unhappy with some of these things. But what's better about these other cars that you would look at? I mean, it depends on the car. I don't know if a Camry is really a good comparison with a Honda Insight. That would be more of a comparison with an Accord. If I remember, Camrys are in the 32 range or higher for money. Maybe I'm wrong. You might have gotten better out of it. But then again, you'd be paying more money for it. The Insight was not a very expensive car. It was in the lower tier in price range, not as low as, say, the Corolla, but just lower tier. So I just wanted to respond to this. I don't think Miles has unreasonable opinions here, but just some of them, keep in mind, the EV button's horseshit. I'm sure people are going to give me crap for this, especially people on the forums. Some of these people are real pros. They know what they're doing with these cars much better than I am. I'm just a fat Jew, just trying to drive the damn car, and I like it, and trying to stay awake in between overnight shifts and so forth. So I just wanted to respond to that, let you guys know what's going on with Ruby. I'll let you know when she goes in for her repair work and how it works. And we'll just leave it at that. 38 out.